much, Latavia. Are we ready for some laughs? Well, you're in for a treat this morning. To celebrate his 10th anniversary of living in Canada, UK comedian James Mullinger is hitting the road on a cross-Canada tour, and he'll be making a few stops along the way in our neck of the woods, also called his home too. So to share some exciting details, we welcome the comedian and writer to the show. Good to see you, James.
Likewise, Anna. Thank you for having me.
I know you heard us talking about you when you were backstage about just being put on the spot and tell me a joke. Does that happen to you constantly because you are funny?
Absolutely. That's the number one thing I think that people come up and say when they see you in the street. Oh, you're a comedian. Tell us a joke. And you always just want to turn around and say, well, what do you do for a living? I'm a mechanic. Fix this car right now. You just want to throw it back at people.
They're like, okay, sure, no problem. Now it's you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I always just say, buy a ticket. I would just say, here's the website, buy a ticket, no freebies.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you're like, I gotta make a living.
Yeah, exactly. This is a business. It might be a joy. I might love doing it. It might be my favorite thing in the world. But, you know, I can't waste the gold.
No, you can't give it out for free. Not like that. Today, this morning you will, but on other times, not so much.
Right now, I'm slinging the gags for free. But yes,
wait.
The second we're out of this studio, it's back to tickets only.
Yeah, very tough. You're a tough get. You're a tough get. And let's talk about your book. Okay, so you've been here since 2014, calling New Brunswick home, which is super exciting for us. How much do you love it? Is that why you loved it so much you wanted to share it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just love everything about the sense of community in the Maritimes. Aww. You know, it's the fact that everyone's related, everyone knows everyone. There's one degree of separation between everyone. You can't do anything without everyone knowing. And I think the beautiful thing about that is it creates this very kind of grassroots and very real environment where everything's word of mouth. Like, there's no, if you're a comedian or a plumber or you do anything in this region, it's all based on word of mouth, which means that really it creates the most real and organic process of, I can't have a bad gig, because if I have a bad gig, everyone knows about it. Right? But conversely, if you have a good one, everyone tells everyone, and it's the same with a plumber. Flood one house, you're done.
Yeah.
And I see myself, I don't know, as the toilet unblocker of comedy, I guess. I want to be the person that goes out and tries to... and I think also it's that sense of community. We are all held accountable because we all know each other. Yeah. I mean, I was doing a show in Salmon Arm, BC a few weeks ago, told a few jokes about Sussex, New Brunswick. 3 days later, I'm back in St. John. I'm at the YMCA swimming along, and a lady comes along the lane next to me, and she goes, I've got a bone to pick with you. And I thought, oh my God, so I'm going fast so I can get back along and find out.
Do the doggy paddle a little quicker?
yeah, that's how I swim. I do doggy paddle. No technique. And I come past and she says, I heard what you said about Sussex in Salmon Arm.
Get out.
And I thought, how great's that? This huge country sometimes feels like a small village in that we keep each other accountable, and it's why we have such a good reputation around the world as being good people. I love it.
I love Maritimers. It's true. You always find a Maritimer wherever you're traveling. And I want to say, I found it so inspirational. You're so honest in your book about how you had this voice in your head, and it could really derail somebody from really pursuing their dreams. But you said, you know what, I listened, I went for it, and you got to meet your hero along the way, and you got to thank him, and that it's okay to actually meet your heroes like Jerry Seinfeld. For now, you are that role to somebody else.
Well, I mean, again, clearly very different levels of talent and so forth. But I mean, it's a great thing to meet a hero, especially when a hero lives up to all of your hopes and expectations. Yeah. And also the thing that I hope I have kind of learned from him is the way he always has time for people. It's a really remarkable thing that given he is the biggest and most successful comedian in the world, arguably, the fact that he has time for nobodies like myself and took the time to kind of advise me and kept in touch and congratulated me on things. It's an amazing thing. He's an inspiration. And as I say, I mean, as is revealed in the book, in many ways, it was Seinfeld who inspired or gave me the impetus and the strength to up sticks, leave what on paper to many people would have seemed like quite an enviable life in London, and move to a small town in New Brunswick and pursue comedy in a place where, for all intents and purposes, it wasn't a huge thing at the time.
It's just pretty incredible.
Wow.
So, like, you have to feel proud. Like, is your family proud, although you left them behind and came here?
Yeah. Well, they are. And it's a hard conversation to have. I mean, when we went to see my parents in 2013 and said, you know how you see your grandkids once a week, now it's going to be once every 2 years. That's a hard conversation to have. But to be honest, testament to Maritimers, testament to the sense of community that you've all created here. And indeed, what a beautiful place it is. There was obviously a lot of tears, but I remember my mum saying through the tears that she was so happy, and some of them were tears of joy, knowing that her grandkids, my children, were going to have an upbringing in a place like the Maritimes, as opposed to a place like London, which London is a great city, but there isn't a sense of community there. People, it's not the safest place in the world to live, and yet the Maritimes is one of the safest places. And obviously there's problems here, and one of the things that I try not do in the book is I don't want to sugarcoat it and make out like everything's perfect. But crucially, what we have here is people who care. And so while we do have problems here, I mean, I remember volunteering at the St. John Food Bank once, and there was some of the shelves were empty, and a local business person went out and posted on Facebook that the shelves were empty, and then the next day there was a lineup of people on their lunch break donating. And I know you have the same thing here in Nova Scotia, and I see it across Atlantic Canada, this belief that we can actually help. Okay. And I love that about this place.
Well, we love you. We're out of time, and since you're here, I figured let's just move everything. You're going to take the stage, and you're going to do a little quick performance for us. And I'm so excited. Did you know you were going to do that?
Beautiful. Hey, count me in. I never turned down. Listen, I perform stand-up every single night. I'm performing tonight, tomorrow night. I perform minimum 6 nights a week. If I can start doing it at 8:30 in the morning as well, then I'll be the happiest man alive.
I love it. You're so much fun. See, he's rich, Crystal. He's rich. He's rich. Rich and enthusiasm. All right. Thank you so much. Best of luck and congratulations on the book. Right out of water.
Thank you.
Pick it up now. 8:21. We'll be right back.